Hi, my name is Rick McKee, and I am the producer, arranger, and orchestrator for this album. I am the associate music producer for the Imagination House in Orlando, Florida. And the majority of what I do a lot of writing and orchestrating and arranging, but the majority of work I do is for corporate, so for theme parks and live events and cruise lines and things like that. And so it's really nice to be able to create something that has more to do with my roots. Ian and I went to Oklahoma City University together, and I always thought he was an unbelievable, unmatched vocal talent, and I always wanted to work with him, and I hated that we didn't have time so much in college, but I was so excited when he approached me about doing this Christmas project, the prospect of working together and finally getting into my element and being able to really make something great together. It's always great to work with musicians who know what they want. When Ian came to me about this project, he told me exactly stylistically what he wanted, and the sound of the orchestration, just the general overall sound of the album. And I was very excited because a lot of the styles of these tunes and the orchestrations and the arrangement and the mixes are right there in my favorite kinds of styles in which to write. For this project, I first laid out all of the tunes on the piano and sent those to Ian, and so he could rehearse, and then he actually recorded the vocals without any orchestrations or any arrangements. Usually on a project like this, I would arrange and orchestrate, and then the singer would come in and sing to that. But the cool thing in this instance is, since it's kind of reverse of what it normally is, so I get to listen to what Ian recorded as I orchestrate, so I can really craft the orchestration around what he did. So I think we're gonna come up with an even more polished product. Well, I'm very excited to be composing 2 original songs for the album, especially considering the style in which Ian is going. And I'm a lyrics-first person. I feel like the musical line makes so much more sense if you have something to say. And so I'll work to craft the words first, and then come up with the melody. And most of the time, as we craft the words and we craft what we're trying to say, the line, as you speak the word, you kind of hear the line just pop out on its own. A lot of times people ask what comes first, the music or the lyrics, and in my case, 99% of the time it's the lyrics. Ian's last album was more of a music theater album, kind of a cabaret type. It was fantastic, and he came to me to do his Christmas album in more of a commercial sound. It's been really fun to get to introduce Ian to this style, because a lot of people who live in the theater world don't get to explore this world, and so it's fun to just be able to kind of worlds collide and be able for him to share his theatrical influence, and me to be able to kind of show him a bit more of the commercial side. And it's fun for me because I come from the theater and I love writing theatrically, and so it's kind of a dream project for me to get to write theatrically and orchestrate theatrically, but approach it from a commercial standpoint. I'm also excited to be working with Will Curry on this project. Will was the producer and orchestrator and arranger on Ian's last album, and Will is an exceptional musician, multi-talented, and Will is acting as Ian's music director and music director for the album. I love working with Will because we speak the same language musically, and so Will makes it very easy to do a project like this, because he can tell me exactly what his vision is, and I find it very easy to pick up on the things in which he's asking. And Will is also playing on the album. He's playing all the violin solos as well as the full violin section, which will be great. It'll really give the string section that life and that lushness that it needs. Some of my favorite albums are actually our Christmas albums. I produced it keeping in mind the things that I would want to hear on a Christmas album, all the keeping in mind the kind of variety that I've wanted to hear in an album that I don't always hear. So it was fun to be able to pull different aspects of my favorites and kind of put them together in this album. And so I feel like it's a very well-rounded project. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to hear what it sounds like. I don't know about you.